Welcome back to Recon by Fire. For today's battle, the Grey Knights are bringing Kaldor Drago, leading a squad of Terminators, 3 Librarians leading a squad of Terminators each, Brother Captain Stern, 2 5-man strike squads, an Interceptor squad, a Brotherhood Tech Marine, and a Calidus Assassin. Imperial Knights are bringing 6 Warglaves, 3 Helverins, a Calidus Assassin, a Navigator, a Voidsman squad, and Canis Rex. For today's battle, we have Hammer and Anvil deployment, Take and Hold is the mission, and Prepared Positions is the mission rule. Start of the game, and the Grey Knights are going first, so they will scout their strike squad up 6 inches. Top of round 1, the Grey Knights are going to draw Assassination and Containment as their secondaries. Drago's squad is going to inch forward but stay off the objective. Strike squad is going to just barely touch the objective and chain back behind cover. Second strike squad is going to sticky the home objective. Terminator squad is going to pop out through the wall to end up in containment range. That is going to end the turn for the Grey Knights, scoring the full 6 points on containment and discarding Assassination for a CP. Imperial Knights will pick up the Calidus Assassin. Bottom of round 1 for the Imperial Knights, they draw Extend Battle Lines and No Prisoners. Warglaive moves forward to secure the point. Canis will move forward with a pivot to get eyes on the Terminators and the Strike Squad. Helverin will move out 4 and forward 8. Warglaive moves out 4 and comes out 8 as well. Boneglaves moves its full movement to barely toe on the objective. Helverin pops out to be able to see the Strike Squad. Warglaive will reposition. Navigator will adjust to screen out the backfield, and the Helverin will also adjust. Calidus Assassin squeezes herself in between the building and the armor. Imperial Knights will spend 1 CP on Squire's Duty, targeting the Strike Squad in the center. Grey Knights will spend 1 CP on True Silver Armor. Both Helverins fire into the squad and manage to pick up 2 of them. Boneglaive fires into them, failing to score a wound. Canis Rex fires into them at high intensity and manages to pick up the squad. That is going to end the turn for the Imperial Knights, scoring 5 points for Extend Battle Lines and 2 points for No Prisoners. At the end of the turn, the Grey Knights are going to pick up the Calidus Assassin, a Librarian squad, another Librarian squad, and Captain Stern. Top of round 2 for the Grey Knights, and they draw Secure No Man's Land and No Prisoners. They will score 5 points for primary. Start of the movement phase, Kaldor Drago will come through the wall ready to charge the Boneglaive. Librarian squad moves forward to touch the objective. Interceptors inch forward and inch away from the wall. 1 Librarian squad comes down 9 inches away from both with line of sight on the green Warglaive. Second Librarian squad is going to come in right behind them with the side cannon as well as the Librarian having line of sight. Calidus will come down safely behind a wall in the middle of combat. Captain Stern will come down hiding inside one of the buildings. Drago's squad will spend 1 CP to throw a grenade and manages to bring the Warglaive down to 8 wounds remaining. Both Librarians are first going to thank you for hitting that subscribe button, and then they are going to unleash their Vortex of Doom onto the green Warglaive, bring it down to only 6 wounds remaining. Both squads fire their side cannons into the green Warglaive, failing to score a wound. Librarian fires its Vortex of Doom into the black Helverin and manages to bring it down to 8 wounds remaining. Only 1 charge for the Grey Knights, and it's Kaldor Drago into the Warglaive. Drago and the Terminators hack into the Warglaive and manages to take it down. They consolidate, blocking off the objective. That is going to end the turn for the Grey Knights, scoring 5 points on Secure No Man's Land and 2 points on No Prisoners. Bottom of round 2 for the Imperial Knights, and they draw Containment and Storm Hostile Objective. They hold only 1 objective and will score 5 points on primary. The Calidus Assassin will reposition herself so her Vect hits the Librarian squad. Canis Rex busts through the wall like the Kool-Aid Man, passing his Battle Shock test. Grey Knights will spend 2 CP and Mist of dying most of the squad away. Helverin moves on the center objective with line of sight on Drago's squad. Green Warglaive moves in on Drago, making sure to go on the opposite side of Heroic. The Grey Warglaive will also move towards Drago. Helverin adjusts to get line of sight on Drago's squad. Navigator repositions to adjust the screen. Imperial Knights are going to activate Squire's Duty, targeting Kaldor Drago's squad, but they'll have to pay 2 CP for it thanks to the Calidus' Vect. Drago activates True Silver Armor. Green Warglaive fires into Drago's squad and kills the Terminator. Grey Warglaive fires into the squad and picks up a Terminator. One Helverin picks up 2 Terminators. Second Helverin picks up another Terminator. Third Helverin fires into Drago, leaving him at 4 wounds remaining. Canis manages a slight angle on the strike squad and fires into him, managing to score just 1 wound. First Warglaive makes its charge into Drago and stays just an inch off the wall. Second Warglaive also makes its charge into Drago. Grey Knights will heroically intervene for free thanks to the mission rule and manage to sneak in just 1 Terminator in between Kaldor Drago and the Warglaive. Without an interrupt, both Warglaives swing into Kaldor Drago, managing to fell the Chapter Master. Terminator squad fights back, bringing the Green Warglaive to just 1 wound remaining, unable to take it down. The other attacks manage to score just 1 wound on the Grey Warglaive. And that will end the turn for the Imperial Knights, scoring 3 points on containment and the full 4 points for Storm Hostile Objective. At the end of the turn, Grey Knights are going to pick up the Tech Marine, the Interceptor Squad, Captain Stern. Top of round 3 for the Grey Knights, they draw Established Locus and engage on all fronts as secondaries. Thanks to a bracketed Warglaive losing OC, the Grey Knights control 2 objectives and score 10 points on primary. Strike Squad are going to scoot to one side to score engage on all fronts. Librarian Squad is going to move in on the Green Warglaive. Calidus repositions for a better Vectora. Grey Knights spend 1 CP on Prognostical Arrival to bring in the Librarian Squad. Brotherhood Tech Marine finds an opening in the backfield. Inceptor Squad come back in outside of charge range of Canis. Captain Stern finds a good hiding spot inside of a building. Imperial Knights are going to spend 1 CP on Rapid Ingress, bringing their final Warglaive in from reserves. Start of the shooting phase, the Brotherhood Tech Marine is going to establish Locus behind enemy lines. Librarian attempts the Vortex of Doom the Navigator, but rolls a 1 and manages to down a Terminator. The Librarian proceeds to whiff on both of its attacks, but the Psycannon manages to score a hit, leaving the Navigator at 1 wound remaining. The rest of the squad fires into the Voidsmen and manages to pick up 3 of them. Terminator squad fires into the Green Warglaive, failing to score a single wound. Both Librarians dump their Vortex of Doom into the Silver Warglaive, managing to score 8 wounds, leaving it at 3 remaining. That is the end of the shooting phase. Moving on to charges, the Librarian squad manages to make it into the Silver Warglaive barely with a 4 on the roll. Terminators hack into the Grey Warglaive and manage to take it down. It does not explode. Green Warglaive attempts to make a valiant last stand, but only scores 1 wound on the Terminators before they take it down. Terminators will consolidate onto the point. That is going to end the turn for the Grey Knights, scoring 4 points for Established Locus and 4 points for Engage on all fronts. At the end of the turn, the Imperial Knights are going to pick up the Calidus Assassin. Bottom of round 3, the Imperial Knights are going to draw Recover Assets and secure No Man's Land as secondaries. They control 3 objectives and will score 15 points on primary. Now that the Imperial Knights are honored, they will generate an additional 3 CP and have a 5-up Feel No Pain. Phase, the Black Warglaive is going to move in on the Interceptors. Grey Knights are going to spend a CP to Mist of Deimos away the Interceptor squad. Canis Rex is going to move 10 inches towards the Grey Knight objective, and thank you for hitting that like button. Voidsmen are going to bravely run away from the Grey Knights. Calidus Assassin just comes down in a decent hiding spot. Helverin repositions on the Terminator squad. The Far Helverin will move back to see the Terminator squad as well. Navigator runs and hides in the building. Navigator attempts its Battle Shock ability on the Terminator squad, but they succeed. Helverin fires into the Tech Marine and takes him down. Helverin fires into the Terminator squad, managing to kill 3 of them and leaving 1 at 2 wounds remaining. Helverin fires into the Terminators, killing 1 of them. That is going to end the turn for the Imperial Knights, holding on to Recover Assets until next turn and scoring 5 points for Secure No Man's Land. At the end of the turn, Grey Knights are going to pick up the Strike Squad. The Calidus will vamp out. Captain Stern, and finally 1 Librarian squad. Top of round 4 for the Grey Knights, and they draw Cleanse and Behind Enemy Lines as their secondaries. They gain 10 victory points for controlling 2 objectives. They'll regenerate 1 Terminator, regenerate a 2nd Terminator. Librarian squad is going to move forward to get line of sight on the Navigator. Grey Knights are going to spend 1 CP on Prognostical Arrival to bring the Terminator squad on the center objective, challenging it from the Helverin. Captain Stern shows up for Behind Enemy Lines. Interceptor squad teleports in with eyes on the Voidsman. Strike squad arrives on the objective, hiding from Canis. And the Calidus arrives in the center of it all. Both Librarians fire their Vortex of Doom on the center Helverin, managing to score 6 wounds, bringing it down to only 2 wounds remaining. Both Terminator squads cleanse their respective objectives. Calidus into the Helverin fails to score a wound. Stern fires into the Navigator and manages to get the killing blow. The Librarian and Terminators fire into the Helverin, scoring 5 wounds, leaving it at 7 wounds remaining. Interceptor squad into the remaining Voidsmen, and they manage to scoop them up. They are able to shoot and scoot, so they will move back into cover. That will end the turn for the Grey Knights. They will score 4 points for cleansing 2 objectives and 4 points for having 2 units behind enemy lines. Imperial Knights will score 3 points for recover assets. Bottom of round 4, and the Imperial Knights draw Bring It Down, which will immediately be recycled into Cleanse and draw Overwhelming Force. They will score 10 points for controlling 2 objectives. Start of the movement phase, the Black Warglaive will advance, giving it enough movement to get on the Grey Knights deployment zone, stealing it away. Helverin will move away since the Grey Knights are unable to mist away thanks to the Vect. Canis repositions to make his charge unfailable into the Terminator squad. Calidus moves in on the Imposter Calidus. Warglaive moves back in to protect the home objective. Helverin repositions in the center. Helverin moves forward to fire at the Librarian and screen. Imperial Knights will spend 1 CP on Squire's duty, targeting the Librarian squad. The Grey Knights will spend their 1 CP on True Silver Armor. Red Warglaive into the Terminator squad, killing 1 Terminator. First Helverin cleans up the last Terminator. Helverin fires into the Librarian and fails to take it down. Calidus into the Calidus, leaving it at 1 wound remaining. Canis Rex sends the multi-laser into the Assassin and the Las Cutter into the Terminators, managing to take down the Assassin and kill 3 Terminators. Red Warglaive makes an absolutely huge charge into the Librarian with a 12. It will tank shock on its way in and manages to score 3 wounds on the Librarian. Canis Rex makes its charge. The Assassin makes her charge. Calidus strikes into the Librarian, and thanks from a big help from Canis, both the Terminators go down. Warglaive into the Librarian and manages to take it down. It is not close enough to pile into Captain Stern. That's going to end the turn for the Imperial Knights, scoring 2 points on Cleanse and 5 points for Overwhelming Force. Grey Knights are going to pick up the Terminator squad, Captain Stern, and the Interceptors will bamp out as well. Top of round 5, and the Grey Knights draw Recover Assets and Overwhelming Force as secondaries. They'll score 5 points for controlling 1 objective. Strike Squad are going to attempt to hide from Canis and begin the Recover Assets. Terminator Squad will come in hiding from Canis, but line of sight on the Helverin. Interceptor Squad arrive in this back wall to start recovering assets. Grey Knights are going to bring Captain Stern in close enough to move block Canis from getting to the Strike Squad, as well as 1v1ing the Assassin. They're going to pay their last CP to do it. Vortex of Doom takes down the Helverin. That is going to end the turn for the Grey Knights, earning 3 points for Overwhelming Force, but even if they score the full 6 points on Recover Assets, that will not be enough to take the lead from the Imperial Knights once they score their primary. So that will make the final score 78 to 84 in favor of the Imperial Knights. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far in the video, please do drop a like, as we would really appreciate it. But until next time, as always, happy gaming.